but I also liked reading books. I was a bit of a bookworm, a bit of a nerd. I enjoyed reading anything to do with a book, but equally I enjoyed maths. Maths was my favourite subject in primary school, and then once I got to secondary school, I really got into sciences, to the extent that I decided to do chemistry and physics for my A-levels. I really enjoyed the practical side of sciences. I loved the labs, I loved the tinkering, I loved the explosions that happened in chemistry. It was brilliant. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my sciences. My sister did environmental sciences. I thought I'd top that, but I'll be an engineer instead. So I thought maybe environmental engineering. So I moved to Trinidad, another Caribbean country. Great for carnival, but I wasn't there to do any partying, I was there to study. So my dad told me to maybe consider civil engineering. I didn't really know much about civil engineering, to be fair, but he said it's very broad. You learn a bit of everything that has to do with engineering, and then you can decide if you want to specialize. If you still want to go for environmental, fine, but then you can decide if you want to specialize a bit later. And then when I started my degree, I realized he was right. It was a bit annoying, but my dad was right. Civil engineering is such a broad topic. You do water resources, you do environmental engineering, which I wanted to do geotechnics, which is foundation, to get into materials. I did a bit of mechanical sometimes in transportation. So then, I'm studying Barbados and moved to England. Lovely, lovely weather. But I got over that, and I decided after my civil engineering degree to do a master's in environmental engineering. And again, I wasn't too sure where I wanted to go with that. I wanted to do water resources engineering actually with my environmental degree, but with any engineering degree, it's so broad. Environmental engineering itself is quite broad. And I got into the glamorous industry of contaminated land. So as an environmental engineer, I go to site, remediate sites, and make it a better place. So from those great, dirty, contaminated sites, I still get to tinker with chemicals, because after you remediate in a site in Oxford, I designed the remediation strategy to improve the groundwater policy, and you get beautiful sites that look like this. You get this great, horrible, derelict site, and you get to regenerate it and produce a site that's a benefit to community, brings economics in, and I don't know, it's just what I really enjoy. And then working on projects like that, I get involved with other types of engineers as well. So my background in civil helps me to speak to other engineers. And civil engineering is just so broad. You're doing everything different in the community, from water and wastewater treatment systems. You've got to clean it somehow, to energy, renewable energies. It's just so broad. Civil engineering is stuff you can get involved in. As a ground engineer, you might not think renewable energy will be interesting, but as a company, we've actually had to design the foundations that those solar panels go on. So different things come involved with civil engineering. Transportation, roads and bridges, it's got to be built, someone's got to do it, so civil engineers again get involved in that. This is a project as a company we're involved in as well. Basement excavations. Developments now, everyone wants a basement, but someone's got to look at that, someone's got to decide, how it's going to be made stable, how we're going to work in these conditions, and as a civil engineer, we design in terms of the stability of it, how we're going to make it safe, how we're going to make this construction work. From design and into foundation design, I think sometimes everyone sees a massive building and they congratulate the construction engineer and the architect, but someone's got to design the foundations that that building's got to sit on, and that's what a civil engineer gets involved in, because no one wants this to happen. No one wants to be the designer of the building who's leaning. Although it's a very historic building, no one wants to be involved in that anymore. But again, civil engineers have been involved in reducing leaning tower. This is a project I've been involved in, Crossrail. Everyone's heard of it, so you get involved in some quite massive projects as a civil engineer. And we did the ground investigation for Crossrail, and that's an overwater borehole at Canary Wharf. And that engineer was given to the tunnel engineers for them to do the design for their tunnels. And then this is also another project we've been involved in. That's a pool between two buildings. And no one wants that pool to crack. So we've been designing the movement analysis for that to make sure that with those two buildings, nothing's going to crack. And you do get a bit of fun. You get recognized for your contribution to society. You get to go to award dinners. Everyone praises you for the good stuff you've done. You get a few awards as a company. We've gained a few awards. And we do have a bit of a sense of humor. Civil engineers are heroes of everything. The architects might design massive concepts, but the architects